A slow year for me when it comes to eBay. Only a couple purchases in the last 6 months or so. One of them very neat to have finally for the sensational Sherry collection. This 93 German Merlin card, as you will see here. All the language. These are very neat, and you can go into a rabbit hole of the WWF Merlin product for sure. There's two Sherry cards in this set, and so I need to get the other one. But I just love this pose, and this one's not in great condition. But as I like to say, it's about the collection, not the condition. I also grabbed this. It's probably not going to come across too good on the video, but this is an acetate, which means you can see through it. Look at that. Terry Funk card from 2006, Lamon cards, which again I think is an Italian card this time around. They did at least 2 years of these. I didn't look to see if there was a Terry Funk in the '05 series. This is the '06. And one more trading card. My man, Matt Mullins, got to see him. This was a personal delivery, not necessarily through the mail, but it's the Mance and SDL Major Pod trading card. Matt's not a card guy, so he brings me his Major Pod cards every once in a while. And of course, as we know from watching my PWI 500 video, old Manser, number 50 wrestler in the world, according to the PWI 500. Check out my video. All 34 people that I announced in the PWI 500. Yeah, there is a correction. I have to add that. I'm going to make another video probably to add the guy I forgot in the PWI 500. More physical media here, this time from the leader of the cult of Cornette, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Cornette's latest book, Heroes and Friends, signed. And you are our friends from Jim Cornette. No matter what you think about his opinions of modern wrestling, you can't deny the man has an unbelievable mind, and he's a historian. And he's got a lot of great personal relationships, and I'm glad he's putting them into writing. And this is like a collection of some of his columns that he did for Inside the Ropes, but it's also has pieces from his collection. Like, look at this. Holy cow. I mean, look at this. I don't know if this is one of Jim's photos necessarily. I don't believe that it is. But that's a photo of Pat Malone, who was the Shadow. Jim's been talking about him on the pod. Look at this. Very cool. Just some amazing photography, high quality paper, and a ton of unbelievable photographs. Check that out. Look at old Percy Pringle. Can you believe it? And I love this. Here's an autographed 8x10 from Paul Bearer. He says, Jim, we are the greatest managers in the biz. Just ask one of us. I love it. So cool. So happy to add that to the collection. I haven't even really spent a lot of time with it. I'm going to, though, because I really want to dig in. It's been a big year for books for me. I think I'm going to do a quick video on Brian Solomon's Gorilla Monsoon biography that he just put out. And I just finally picked this one up. This is a very special figure for me because it's going onto the shelf of professional wrestlers that I've had to drive to. I've had the privilege of driving, for that matter, to all-star wrestling shows here in amongst my 9-year career of ring announcing. And this guy was one of the coolest to hang with. As I mentioned, he's number 43, the highest ranked wrestler again this year on the PWI 500 that I've ring announced. And this was his first AEW figure. Came out in 2024. And I went back and was looking because it was actually 3 years ago this week when Ethan Page wrestled for All Star Wrestling for the first time. It was at the Nathan Rumble, and he went one-on-one with Casey King. And that's when I picked him up. And that's the time I got to drive him. And I went back and looked, and it looked like he had just joined the firm with Stokely. The Gun Boys were in that group, as well as W. Morrissey, which is now Big Bill, of course. And they were the hired guns for MJF. And that's really wild to think about. He was in the ring, actually delivered the ego cutter. Is that what it's called? The ego's edge? The ego's edge. He delivered the ego's edge to MJF on television. And actually, MJF ended up being Ethan Page's last one-on-one match in AEW. He did a stint in Ring of Honor right after that. And he did come back to All-Star Wrestling, and that was in May of 2024. It was him versus Casey King 2. I didn't get to ring announce that one. I'm going to put a link to both of those videos in the description of this. I'll put a link in the description to this video to both of those matches between Casey King and Ethan Page. And crazy to think about because I was messaging Gary Dameron. I said, hey, we should bring in Ethan Page for the Regatta this year. You know, this was May and July was going to be the Regatta Pro Wrestling Show, Sternville Slamboree. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I'll message him. He had a great time working for us. And it was kind of crickets for a little while and we weren't getting an answer. And no wonder because it was in May, only a month later that he debuted on NXT, made his surprise return. None of us were surprised. None of us were surprised. He's one of the most talented men in the business, and no one can deny his success. He's a double champ, too. A lot being said about Dominic Mysterio these days. Ethan Page is a co-holder of those AAA co-ed tag belts with Chelsea Green. I mean, come on. He's killing it right now. I actually ordered this figure because I thought that this was like the jacket that, because there's a couple elites out now. And he's had the best-selling figure a couple times now at Ringside Collectibles. And I thought this was kind of like similar to the jacket that he wore when he came to ASW the first time, but I pulled the match up, looked it up. It's not. And the gear's not even that similar. But this was what he was doing in 2021, at least. As I mentioned, this was when he fought Lee Johnson, who's now in the Swirl, who I did get to see when AEW returned to West Virginia not too long ago. So this one's going on the shelf right up here to my right. I got Buff Bagwell up there. I got Cowboy Bob Orton. I got Cowboy James Storm, Madden Cowboy Ego Ethan Page to the collection. That's not all of the ones that I have, but that's who I've got up there so far. And so happy to add this Ethan Page figure to the collection. One more item. It's a bit of a tease. Got this big, nice, cushy, very fine top loader. Top loader binder. Check it out. My buddy Matt Sutton inspired me. He got one and he loaded it up. So you're going to have to wait and see. What am I going to put into this? I have an idea. What's going in the top loader binder? You're going to have to stick around and find out. My name is Adam, friendly neighborhood ring announcer here in West Virginia. Ring announcer, wrestling fan, and collector. Thanks for watching. Check out one of my other videos. I would love it if you'd subscribe or leave me a comment. Hope you'll come back next time and come see us at the matches.